In the Navy, yes, you can sail the 7 seas. In the Navy, yes, you can put your mind at ease. Unless, of course, bombs are being dropped on you from a great height because, oh no, you've sunk my battleship. Battleship, not battleships with an S on the end, which I learned this week, much like Cluedo and Monopoly, is considered to be part of the classics of the board game hobby. A game that you likely played when you were a kid because the rules are simple, the colours are fun, and your parents just want you to be quiet for 15 minutes. It's a game that is sort of half skill, half luck. You give a coordinate that you either hit or miss, and then your opponent does the same, and then so on and so forth. And sold like hundreds of millions of copies, and checking out reviews for it on Amazon, there are still parents buying it today because they also want to keep their kids quiet for 15 blissful minutes. But is Battleship actually good? What's interesting about Battleship is that there isn't a clear origin story for the game. Some have claimed that it was invented by Russian soldiers after the First World War, and others say that it was born from inspiration from the French game L'Attaque, which we know today as Strategia, which itself was based on Japanese military chess. Perhaps its origins lay in the wargame Kriegspiel, where players write down on paper their orders and hand them to a separate umpire, only knowing where your opponent's troops are if the umpire rules that you've seen them. There's also the theory that it's based off Baslinda, a game of cannons and soldiers from as far back as 1890, where opponents place pieces on a map with a partition shielding you from seeing where your opponent has put them. The simple fact is, Battleship is a simple game of discovery, logic, and blind luck. It's perfectly reasonable to believe that it sprang up anywhere that involved military dudes looking at a map, wondering where the enemy is, and then wanting to blow that enemy up. And I mean, sadly, the human race has done a lot of that over the years. Oh god. What we can say for certain is that the first commercial version of the game was released in 1931 as Salvo by Stratex in the US. You had 4 ships on a large grid of paper, and players took multiple shots at each other hoping to sink your ships. As we headed into the Second World War, it was decided there wasn't enough chat about stuff being blown up on the news, so it was brought into the home with a fleet of games based on naval warfare, from Combat, the Battleship game, Broadside as a game of naval strategy, and Wings, which isn't just the band the Beatles could have been, but also Battleship with planes. Now, all of these games came on pre-printed paper. It was Milton Bradley in 1967 that introduced a version of the game which had plastic boards and pegs, which is the iteration of Battleship most people know today. Over the years, the game has gone through a few changes, including a 2008 revamp that changed the square board to a hexagon, which meant instead of pieces being played vertically and horizontally, they could also be placed across 3 different planes, making it harder to nail successive shots. They also introduced islands with little plastic men on them, and that game is actually still available now as Battleship Islands. But the game reverted back to its classic form following the 2012 movie. Yes, I'm sure you all forgot the Peter Berg action classic that took a board game about warfare between naval ships and made it about aliens. It's proper sh**. In fairness though, it's probably Rhianna's 4th best movie. Also, in fairness to Battleship, having the aliens' ammo look like the pegs from the game is genuinely quite clever, but it is truly the Hollywood solution of, well, Transformers was a big hit, I guess the movie-going public want more films based on plastic toys that we sell them. Here are some of my favourite lines from the movie.
Saving the world is one thing, Hopper. My daughter is quite another.
Oh, brother, somebody gonna kiss the donkey.
If you give me 5 minutes, I will get you your chicken burrito.
That last line is interesting because it's based on one of the original rules from the 1967 Milton Bradley game, except of course I'm lying. There have been electronic versions of the game, bouncing ball versions of the game because, you know, Hasbro, but surprisingly there haven't been many branded versions, which is weird because, you know, Hasbro. In the 80s, we saw the rise of Battleship as a solitaire puzzle that is still printed in newspapers to this day. And interestingly, it was one of the earliest board games to be turned into a video game in 1979 on the Z80 CompuColor, and it's better than the Xbox version. It also spawned a family of games that took the original core concept and added layers to it, like Strategic Command with its vertical board and magnet, and Subsearch, which is a tower of maps and grids where submarines on lower levels fight ships on the top level. And of course, Battleship has broken into pop culture. We've seen it in Toy Story, Seinfeld, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and the term "You've sunk my battleship" has been used as the punchline in several jokes.
You sunk my battleship.
But how does Battleship actually play? Each player takes control of a fleet of plastic ships that are on a 10x10 board. You place these pieces yourself strategically around the board, horizontally and vertically, but never diagonally, and then take turns to fire shots. For example, I could say D3 and my opponent will tell me if I've missed or hit one of their dumb ships. If I miss, I mark my board with a little white peg to let me know that there's nothing there. But if I hit, I get to use a red marker. My opponent then picks an area and I tell them if they missed or if they hit one of my awesome ships, and play continues until you've sunk all the ships. It's a bit like bingo, but with more death at sea.
You sunk my battleship.
Now, all of that doesn't sound too exciting, does it? If anything, it sounds quite plodding, taking slow individual turns, missing over and over again, especially if you're playing with someone who looks at a board and goes, for a really long time. You know who you are. However, once a hit is registered, the game can get super hot super quick. If you hit, you're also told what sort of ship you've hit, so you know what sort of radius you need to cover. Eventually, with a string of successful shots, you can make your opponent say, "You've sunk my destroyer," or "You've sunk my aircraft carrier," or "You've sunk my patrol boat," or... No, I think that's all of them.
You sunk my battleship.
However, a quick check into the modern rulebook gives you a variant to play Battleship that harkens back to its 1930s origins: Salvo mode. In Salvo mode, instead of firing one shot at a time on your turn, you fire as many shots as you have remaining ships. So in the beginning, you name 5 squares that are all going to get attacked at the same time because you start with 5 boats, and you're then told which ones missed, which ones hit, and what ships you hit. That sounds like a way better way of playing the game. It certainly makes it a faster and more explosive experience with more strategy involved. It also means that every shot counts, particularly when you get down to your final ship, and each miss is going to feel like a kick straight in your heart. And there's another way of playing Salvo rules from the 1967 version of Battleship, where again you fire as many shots as you have ships, but the information you get back is how many hits you have, not where they hit, just how many. Now that sounds like a board game. We took this question to our YouTube community with 71% voting that yes, the game is actually good. Surprisingly, that's the same sort of split that Monopoly and chess had, which I would argue are far more contentious games than Battleship. So what did you have to say about it?
I haven't played it in a while, but I can't remember a bad time playing it. Maybe it got a bit annoying at times, constantly guessing and missing, but I'd say overall Battleship is good.
It is good if you play with the advanced rules found in the electronic version of the board game. Just guessing with the basic rules is a bit boring.
It's probably the simplest of the OG board games while also remaining the most fun. Clue, or Cluedo to you, might seem like it fits better there, but Battleship takes less time to both start and finish, not to mention the replayability as soon as you finish one game.
It's a very simple game that nearly anyone could learn quickly and enjoy.
Good God, no. That game is terrible, seriously. It either ends too quickly or takes forever. There is no middle ground for time.
Is walking around a dark room looking for a light switch fun?
Battleship is a basic game, there's no denying that, but its fundamental mechanics are still quite thrilling. You start the game with 0 information, but each new round brings new data which will dramatically change the next turn, and at the same time, your opponent is gaining their own data. From the get-go, that feels like a compelling and addictive style of game, and I'd argue it's way more compelling than other classic board games like Monopoly and Cluedo. And like a lot of classic board games, the mechanics of Battleship have been developed to create some of the best games going today, like Whitehall Mystery, Fury of Dracula, or this expansion of Pandemic, to name but a few. Games where good players rush to track down the footprints of evil players on the move. Perhaps more on the nose is Captain Sonar, where teams of players compete in a mad dash to chase after and sink their opponent's submarine by listening to their movements and trying to track them down on bits of plastic that can be rubbed out and amended, brilliantly heightened by the fact that every player is making their turns in real time. Captain Sonar is brilliant. But we're not here to ask if Captain Sonar is actually good. It is, by the way. We're here to ask if Battleship is actually good. And to find that out, I've arranged to play all 3 versions of the game. One with Laurie with the classic one shot at a time rule, a game against Blair with lots of shots and lots of information, and a game against Adam with lots of shots and little information.
So we're going to be playing Battleship Classic rules, Laurie. So that is, I take a shot, then you take a shot, I take a shot, you take it, until the game is over. Now,
a gentleman's game.
So we are going to place. Oh, hello, Terry.
He's going to be a dick now. I'm sorry. He wants to be fed, and so he's going to be a dick for an hour. Don't eat that. What are you doing?
Lovely stuff. Okay, right. I'm going to go first then, and I'm going to say C3.
C3. Sploosh.
That's a miss. Okay, just mark that as white on my board. Okay.
I'm going to go for D3.
D3 is also a sploosh.
Oh, God. White.
F6.
F6. Sploosh. I1.
I1 is a miss. A7.
A7. Sploosh.
Oh, man.
Nothing. Okay, where do I want to go? I want to go A7. A7, right back at you.
Spleesh.
Why is it so hard? The complete lack of information.
Okay, right, surely this time. E3.
E3. Sploosh.
Oh, what? Come on, do you have any ships?
No, I don't. I didn't put them in. I'm going to go for F6.
F6. Sploosh.
Oh. The Hunt for Red October would have been a much more boring film if it was this game.
G4.
G4.
Come on.
Sploosh.
No, come on. Sploosh.
I4.
I4. Sploosh.
God damn. This is the problem with it. It's boring in the beginning.
Okay, right, here we go. I8.
I8. That's a hit.
Yes! What did I hit?
Do I have to tell you what you hit?
You have to tell me which one you've hit, yeah. Or which one I hit.
Cruiser.
Ooh, okay. So that's a 3er. Okay, lovely stuff. Right, now we're cooking on gas.
J4.
You have sunk my battleship.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, no. Sunk the battleship.
B7.
B7 sploosh.
How big is the old carrier? Oh,
the cruiser is 3.
I guess it could be there.
I4.
I4.
What did I say? That's clearly a miss.
Is a hit.
What?
On my patrol boat.
Oh, booyah! Oh, hello.
E7.
E7 sploosh. J4, please, sir.
You have sunk my patrol boat.
Yeah, and I won. Go me. Cool. Well, Laurie, was classic Battleship any good? Or actually good, rather?
It's a fun guessing game, but I don't think you really get much out of it. Because I can see a situation in which you do just fire forever and miss everything the whole time, and that's very frustrating. And like we were saying, I think there's an obvious kind of tactic of if you just put a couple of boats quite near each other, sure, you might get a hit early in the game, but you're going to confuse the hell out of people if they're only a couple of squares away and they sort of paint pictures around them. It's fun, but it wouldn't sustain more than a couple of games in a row, I think.
Okay, so we're going to be playing Salvo rules, which is one of the original ways to play the game, which is that we get as many shots as we have ships on the board. So starting off, we get 5 shots each. Ship goes down, then you get 4. You then get told which ones have hit, which ones have missed, and what ships you've hit as well. So it's kind of like it's a much more of a scatter way of playing the game, because the game that I played with Laurie, our first 5 rounds were us missing each other. So I think this may be a way to speed the game up slightly.
Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully, yes.
I would like to shoot in. You know what? Let's just start with A1. Good old steak sauce. D4, G7, J10.
Yep.
That's what, 4?
That's 4.
All right, and let's do J1.
J1. All 5 were misses.
Ah, damn it. All right. That's annoying, but not totally unexpected.
Okay, I'm going to go C5, E8,
okay,
G4,
okay,
D1,
okay,
and I6.
All right. Those were also all misses. B2, H3, F5,
Yep.
A10,
Yep.
and C8. Was that 5? That felt like 5.
Yeah, and C8. Okay, so you have hit twice. So C8 was a hit.
C8. Okay.
Was a
I'll
hit,
mark
and
that in
that
red.
was my battleship.
Battleship.
And
okay.
F5 was also a hit, and that was my submarine. Bang to rights, I have you. H5.
Okay.
I'm also saying F1. And I've got one more shot to take, and I'm going to place it in H8.
Oh. All right, you'll be glad you did that last one, because that was a hit.
Oh, okay.
On the carrier. For the sake of playing it out, let's say C4.
C4 is a hit on my carrier.
Lovely.
And I'm going to take my 2 shots. I'm going to say H9 and 10.
Spectacularly, those are both misses. No, that's a lie. They are both hits, and you have won. Congratulations.
Yes, go me. 2-0. I'm 2-0 Battleship. I beat Laurie as well.
Master Battleship here.
Turned out this is my game. I finally found it. Comparing like regular Battleship rules where it's like one shot, do you think that the Salvo rules improves the game or hampers it?
I think it improves it slightly, because I do remember it feeling like it can just carry on for ages with one shot at a time. I'm not sure how your experience with Laurie was, but it does. Yeah. I think this definitely speeds it up, which makes it more enjoyable, because I think that is definitely one of the drawbacks to just standard Battleship. So yeah, I think definitely it improves the rules.
So, Adam, I am currently undefeated at Battleship.
We'll see about that, shall we?
I have found my game at long last, and it's Battleship, it turns out. But you and I are going to be playing this very differently. So when I played with Laurie, played a classic rules, one shot each, and boy, how did we miss a lot in those early rounds. And then with Blair, it was you took the amount of shots that you had ships, but you also got back information. So I got told what ships I'd hit and what ones had missed. The rules we're going to be playing are that we take as many shots as we have ships, but we only get told how many of them hit, and we don't get told where they hit.
That's right. You literally just we lose 5 shots. The proper original Salvo rules, which is going to be a little bit of a mind bender, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, so I'm saying D4. I'm saying F6. I'm saying B2. J8. And, because I love them, Jurassic 5, J5. The J5.
Cool. That would be 1 hit.
Okay, cool. Nice. Now, how am I going to mark this? Okay. Right, I know there's a potential 1 hit in there. Okay, cool.
Add some deduction to this boy. All right.
It is, yeah.
Okay. A1, A2, A3, A4,
Yep.
and A5.
Interesting. Misses.
All right, fine.
All misses. I
Can
see
deal
what
with
you're
that.
doing, though. I see where you're going with this.
Deal with that. C2, D2, E2, F2, G2.
Okay, so C2 down to G. Those are all misses.
Righto.
I see what you're doing, though. I see your game.
I'm sweeping the ocean for you.
I know
I'll
you
get
are.
you.
And it's smart in a way.
In a way, it's like it's a strategy. It's different from yours, which is very, very chaotic, but does unsettle me deeply. Mine is at least methodical. You know when your pain is coming.
I thought I'd worked it out. I thought I'd worked you out for a second then. Good Smeg. What the devil is going on here? I've got one more shot to take. And I'm going to say I4.
Oh! No hits at all. No hits at all.
No, Smeg.
H6, I6. Don't mess about.
H6, I6. You have sunk my battleship.
Yes, I did. All right. I knew there was another thing there.
No, you still haven't found your cruiser. How in the hell have I not found a cruiser? No, I don't
You
know if I
sank
have.
my cruiser first.
Sorry,
that was the first thing.
Sorry, I mean your carrier.
It's the biggest one.
I know, Adam, and I keep missing it.
Right, I've sunk all but one of yours, yes? I'm just missing your patrol boat.
My patrol boat. That's the tricky one as well. That's the twofer.
Stupid little bastard. I don't like that top right corner. So many ways you could hide a patrol boat there. Okay, A10, B9.
A10 and B9 are both misses.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
A turtle.
Not a turtle.
H6.
Oh, no. What are you thinking?
Oh, they hit him!
A8, B7.
A8 and B7. That is 1 hit.
Oh, the time has come.
Oh no!
To talk of many things.
Surely I can hit and sink your carrier with my one shot now. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Oh mate. E9?
No.
Yeah.
A7, B8.
You have sunk my patrol boat.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Oh man.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
Okay.
That's something to wrap your noggin around, isn't it?
Do you know? Yeah, because like early doors, I was like, I've got a system that totally works here. Like, and I'm really working this out. If you now look at my system on Player One tab. You can see now why I got myself so confused.
What the is that? What the is that?
I really honestly thought, I was like, look at this lad here. I was like, I'm pretty sure that means something, but I don't know what it means.
Do you want to check out my system?
I am going to check it out now, yeah, see how you did it. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that was where your carrier was. Actually, I wasn't as far off as I thought.
Yeah,
Man, how
thought
the hell did I miss C3?
C3 right in the middle. I mean, the thing is, like, looking at your thing, I kind of get it a little.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's just sitting like it doesn't seem like it's like an island in the middle of war, like right there. Whereas, like, if you look at my screen, it's just like, how has he not hit C3 yet?
No, exactly. And now I can see where it is on my screen.
You would have annihilated me, I think, if we were playing the me announce where your shots are.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would have, like, my battleship would have been gone very, very soon. Like, I found yours later than you found mine.
Yeah.
But my kind of wave process meant it was a lot easier for me to kind of like translate hits into future hits.
Yeah.
Than yours.
How did you find this version of Battleship compared to the traditional one-on-one shot?
Whatever happens, I think you should be playing multiple shots at once in the beginning. Like, if you've got 5 ships, you should have 5 shots. Like, the idea of playing one shot miss, one shot hit, one shot, like, that seems insane to me. This is a lot of fun because it throws a lot of chaos at you and you have to unpack stuff and you genuinely are looking at a grid and trying to make little deductions and stuff. It's fine. It's fine. If you ask me, would I want to play this again? I would probably say no, because for what this does, piecing clues together to work out a location of something, Cryptid is the best board game for that. Like, there's every version of Battleship, I think, has a game that's better than it, unfortunately doing pretty much the same thing. But I enjoyed the puzzle.
All 3 games of Battleship were enjoyable for different reasons, but as Adam said to me at one point, it's always fun to play a game with a friend. The game with Laurie was the slowest and felt the most plodding, but I still had fun because Laurie is good company. The Salvo rules with Blair was a better game, but it was that final round with Adam that ramped things up for me. I may not have had that instant re-rack mentality and want to play again, but I probably would challenge him or Laurie or Blair or any of my other friends to try it out. And now that I've got a copy of Battleship, it's probably the only way I'll ever play it again. And with Battleship, there are better games out there that are similar and kind of do the same thing. So is Battleship actually good? With the standard rules, no, I don't think so. But with Salvo rules, yeah, kind of is. It's just not a game I'm clamoring for another round on. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Luke Owen from No Rolls Barred. Please do consider giving this channel a subscribe if you haven't already, and that little thumbs up button, that really does help us out. There's also a playlist at the side there with my other actually good videos that I've done. I've looked at Monopoly and chess, that was a fun one, and Uno. Oh, and Cluedo, I did Cluedo recently. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you could give that playlist a click and watch a couple more videos that I've done. We've also got a great like Let's Play series. So yeah. I've been Luke Owen from No Rolls Barred, and I'm still bad at doing these outros. Should script them, probably.